Hello everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Gymnastics Considered. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit of a deep topic to begin with, but I hope that that's going to be okay with you guys. Actually, I have something written out that I've written out my thoughts because I'm usually better at getting out my thoughts on what I really want to say clearly in written form, so I would like to read it to you. It's usually movies and books that move me to tears. It's usually stories about characters or people's lives that inspire me. And those stories are usually written after they are lived out, after the victory. But it is in my following of the American elite gymnasts who are striving to reach their ultimate goal, the 2008 Beijing Olympic team, that I have recently found inspiration. And currently, they are exactly in the middle of their story. They are writing it right now. And I am, quite possibly, more affected by their fight for their dream than I ever have been by anyone else. I know it's because, over the past year, I've spent countless hours researching their lives, watching videos of their gymnastics, reviewing in detail their routines, their personalities, and their hopes. And it's all culminating now as they perform the routines that will determine their destinies. And I realized something. Their destiny is not at all just handed to them. It's by their choices and actions whether they will be on that Olympic team or not. It is by their choice to train hard, their desire to do what it takes, and their determination to make no excuses that they have victory. No, they can't control how they are scored. They cannot control how hard it rains and how high the floodwaters rise in their own gym. They cannot control what order they perform in and on what apparatus they start on. They can't control their inconvenient injuries. But they can control the placement of their hands as they touch the vaulting table, the balance and strength of their bodies on beam, their momentum in the air as they flip, twist, or turn, their toe point and lines on bars. And how do they do it? By repeating over and over their routines in the gym countless times, perfecting their skills, knowing their bodies, becoming one with the equipment, with the music, and merging their mental toughness with their physical capability. And it is only through this hard work, through battling this ever fight, that they become the toughest athletes you will ever see, that they become champions. And so I am inspired, because I have dreams too, and though they may not be to win an Olympic gold medal, they are just as important, and I'm realizing they are just as attainable. Because I too can put in a work ethic and determination behind a vision. I too can dream, and so can you. So, with all of that being said, I'd like to move into the portion of the episode where I want to share with you my personal preferences on who should make the Olympic team. And I want to tell you who I really want to be on the team, but also who I think is most likely to be there based on their performance in day one at trials. But before I give you my predictions, I'd like to let you hear from a special guest and who he thinks should be on the team. Some of you may have watched a series of videos that are now not running any longer, but I asked him to share his views with me because even though he's completely different from me, I actually enjoy listening to his gymnastics commentary. So this may possibly be your last piece of Gym Dish.
My opinion on the selection of the 2008 Olympic team for women's artistic gymnastics is as follows. I think Shawn Johnson's a definite lock for the team because she's necessary on all four events for the team, and her only weakness being on uneven bars where she has a slightly lower star value than most of our contenders. However, she can be put up on any event at any time, and she's pretty much guaranteed to hit because she's been consistent all year long, and she's improved and learned from her past experiences. So Shawn Johnson is lock number one. Lock number two is obviously Nasty Lukin because we can't do without her bars. She's the best in the country, top 3 in the world. We need her on that event, and especially beam 2. floor she could possibly contribute if she continues to be very consistent how she has been in the past few competitions. However, you never know how she's going to turn up that day. She's very on and off, hot and cold on floor exercise. Lock number 3, because of floor and vault, and now I think just particularly for vault, is Alicia Sacramone, who I feel has fallen short on floor in the past few years and has never looked as great as she did in 2005. But on vault, she's definitely a huge contributor to the team, the best vaulter in our country, and she's definitely a bronze medal contender at the Olympic Games. Now, I think 4th for the team is definitely Samantha Pejek, and that's not because I'm her biggest fan in the entire world, but because she can contribute on any event, and she has shown her consistency, and just recently at Nationals, she hit 7 for 8, only falling once on her extremely difficult combination dismount on floor, back 1.5 into round pike handspring double pike, which she's the only one in the world currently doing. So I think she's a lock because she has huge skills on beam. She can be put up on 3 events. The only event that we wouldn't want to use her for is bars. Number 5, obviously, is Chelsea Memo. How could we not put her on the team? The girl's been consistent, a huge helper for us since 2003. It's almost like she deserves to be on the team just for that, and she hit 8 for 8 at Nationals. She deserves to be on that Olympic team no matter what. She can be put up any event, anytime, and I think she's going to be our 2nd major bar contender. As for the 6th and last lot of the team, there are a lot of different ideas. A lot of people say that it would be Shayla Worley, but I completely disagree. Bridget Sloan. We need Bridget Sloan. She could be that final bar worker. She can crank out, I think, on the world stage of 15.7, 15.8 if she hits. She could possibly be used on beam and prelims. Her floor is amazing, and I think is definitely in the range of having potential to make the Olympic event final and possibly even medal if other people falter in the finals. So that's my opinion on the 2008 Olympic team for women's artistic gymnastics.
Wait a second, I completely disagree. Just kidding, actually I agree on a lot of it. But thank you so much for collaborating with me, Gym Dish, and I hope that people who viewed your channel before are happy to get to see you again. So, for my pick, obviously Nastia Lukin is going to be on that team, and I say her first because she is my favorite, and I'm not really sure that anything can change that. It's just, I remember when I first saw her, something just drew me to her and her gymnastics. But that's not the reason she deserves to be on the team. She deserves to be on the team because even though she was injured and she has been said to have a slight comeback, she was always there, and last year she took 2nd at a lot, or even lower than that. And she was still there fighting, and to me, like I said before, that's what really inspires me. And the girl can just move in such a way that is so elegant and graceful. You don't come by that too often, and we really need that brought to our team. And her perfection, her desire for perfection is so evident in her performances that she's such a strong competitor and contender, and she's going to bring so much to the team. Obviously, Lukin's going to be competing on bars and beam, but I think she could compete on floor because she's showing us from day 1 at trials that she's still got it in her, and to have her dance in the team finals I think would be absolutely awesome. So if she can control her tumbling, I would be really happy to see her on floor for the team as well.